What is up, everybody? Trip Morgan here for Panthers Source, and joined by my good friend Billy, as always, here for the post-game show. Billy, that beautiful time of year is back, officially starting tonight, and it was obviously a great start for the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, it was nice to see football back on TV. It's nice to see the Panthers play. It was a decent game.
It was preseason. It was the first preseason game.
First preseason game. It was a decent game. Good to see some good things out of our rookies, and I think I have my new Whirly.
Your new Whirly?
Yeah, my new Whirly.
Yeah. We're definitely gonna have to jump on that because that was something. James Bradbury did not start today, and that kind of thrusted somebody else into that position. So, they went to him early and often, and it was not necessarily pretty. But as we get started, guys, if you have not already, this is your first time here, go ahead, hit that like and follow right here on Facebook. If you do the YouTube thing and you can't catch the full show live here, follow us, subscribe to us on YouTube, hit that as well. You can also find us on the podcast form, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, all those, Spotify, all those great things. You can find us all up there. But right now, we're going to jump right into it. And Billy, I think the hottest topic going in this game was set off earlier this week by the comments made by a certain former Panther wide receiver, Kelvin Benjamin, and really threw his former, not only just quarterback, but really best friend under the bus. I mean, making the comments on Cam saying if he'd had another guy like Aaron Rodgers, Eli Manning, another accurate quarterback, that it just wasn't a great fit from the get-go. And I don't disagree with him that it wasn't a great fit because it wasn't a great fit for the Panthers. Scott Fowler of the Charlotte Observer actually put out an article about that, and I completely agree. I think, it didn't work out. Dave Gettleman was going for the big, tall wide receivers, and Benjamin couldn't beat smaller corners in man-to-man. He was slow. He couldn't run great routes, and he constantly showed up out of shape. And then he bashes Cam, and these two had a great rapport and chemistry on and off the field while they were in Carolina together. And I don't know if something's happened recently between the two, but this set off a string of events. And, tonight they met on the field, and we have video of it right here. They met on the field pregame. You see Kelvin Benjamin talking to Thomas Davis. Cam walks up, kind of bumps him and goes to give him a handshake, and KB completely denies it, just avoids it. And Cam asked Thomas Davis, "Hey, man, look, give us some time. We're going to talk about this." And they, you've seen the video, Billy. I'm basically narrating it for people who may not have seen it. But and he's sitting here talking to him, and KB wants none of this. I mean, he wants absolutely none of it. Starts walking off. Cam sitting here just trying to talk to him. It kind of looked to me personally like he was just trying to see what the hell happened, like why this was going on. I mean, we haven't been on the show since this has taken place. What are your thoughts on this with Kelvin Benjamin and all this going on now?
When players leave Carolina, they always have something bad to say.
Yeah.
Kelvin Benjamin doesn't have a lot of room to talk. He comes into the beginning of the season always overweight. He can't catch the ball, and then he gets injured, and we have a really successful season with him on the sideline.
Yeah.
For him to say that he was the man, but he didn't fit with Cam. If he fit with Cam, if he fit what Carolina wanted, he'd still be there.
Yeah.
He's big. He's got butterfingers, and obviously he loves to get on that keyboard and talk smack, and he didn't want to bring it on the field.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing with this whole situation is KB, you realize Cam won an MVP without you. Yeah. And led his team to the Super Bowl, 15-1 season, and then you have the audacity to really come out and bash the man on something that really you didn't help, you maybe even hurt, because he was constantly trying to force things to you. I mean, I can bring up obviously plays of Cam missing KB, but I can bring up just as many of KB dropping perfect passes. You saw it tonight. KB got off to a pretty good start. I mean, and now granted, this is going to go into our next topic we kind of opened the show with. You were mentioning the Bills went right at Kevon Seymour.
Yes.
Playing the number one role today with Bradbury out. And it was majority of the time it was KB, and it was going right to him. And KB clearly outmatches Seymour, finally starting to use some of that size that he never used in Carolina. And I mean, I don't know. It was, I guess, in a way refreshing to see, because when KB left, it was no hard feelings. It didn't work out, whatever. I was still pulling for the guy. Yeah. Go do your thing. Now, it's kind of, I don't, as a fan, I don't really like him that much anymore.
Yeah,
especially after his antics today with Cam on the field.
Yeah, I mean, I liked him as a player, and I liked him when he left, and it was sad to see him go. But if that's the team gave you a chance in the league, you obviously didn't take it serious. You come 50 pounds overweight every preseason. We gave you a chance, and now you're going to talk smack, and then not want to deal with it face to face. That's the biggest thing to me. If you can talk it, then when somebody comes up to to talk to you about it, at least man up and say, talk about it.
Yeah,
he wanted nothing, and I'm glad Cam walked away. KB did show out a little bit tonight, and Cam did overthrow some people tonight. So it was. And
it's funny, we're sitting here talking about. I want to hit on this first of all. I want to keep on this Kevon Seymour talk for a little bit because this is a guy who, depth charts right now are or whatever. You just throw him to the wayside. It's coming out of training camp. They have to release something. But Kevon Seymour has been that guy for the Panthers going into these games where he's the second guy outside of James Bradberry, and people have been wondering, is Dante Jackson? Ross Cockrell was brought in. Obviously is gone for the season right now after the injury. But Dante Jackson drafted, Ross Cockrell brought in, and it's wondering if that's supposed to help push Kevon Seymour in that competition and who's going to take that spot. Kevon Seymour was put in a big situation tonight against KB mainly, and he struggled. Actually, he was playing in the second half against backup wide receivers and quarterbacks and was still getting beat deep. That's not a good look, and especially with the guy like rookie coming up behind him, Dante Jackson, having a huge training camp. And, one of the things you always say about cornerbacks is, if you're not hearing your name, it's typically a good thing because that means they're not throwing at you. Dante Jackson's name was not mentioned a lot tonight as far as in coverage and stuff.
Yep.
And I think that's huge to tell with him creeping up on the heels, even as a rookie behind Kevon Seymour.
Yeah, and I think
you're Daryl Worley.
My Daryl Worley. That's my new Daryl Worley. If it makes the team, and we go through the season with him. But I think it was like fourth quarter he had his first pass breakup.
Yep.
But everybody was burning him. He's 3 yards behind.
Kelvin Benjamin.
And Kelvin. Yeah, I mean KB made him look like a clown.
Yeah.
And that's not what we saw from KB at Carolina. So
yeah, that was definitely disappointing. And that's kind of I put out a tweet, actually, when that KB touchdown went down. I was like, this is not a good look for Kevon Seymour trying to make, that starting role anyway at cornerback, especially with Dante Jackson creeping up on his heels. Not a good look. So we'll look at...
He's Seymour. I'd like to see less.
Yeah. Oh, he's got it. Woo! Dropping the puns here. Kelvin Benjamin, like we were saying, 4 catches, 59 yards, 1 touchdown. Now, the first one right out the gate I thought was pretty funny because it hit him dead in the numbers, and he was bobbling it around, but was able to come down with it, of course. That's classic Kelvin Benjamin for me. But anyway, and then it goes down, B. Riley, McLeod for them, 59-50. We're getting into the bench players over there. But I thought that was interesting to pull out with Dante Jackson and Kevon Seymour. And we were talking about Cam Newton. He was 6 of 9, 84 yards, and there was one player who he just didn't have chemistry with tonight for some reason. It seemed he was like, obviously he missed 3 passes, 3 completions. 2 of them were to Greg Olsen, who was open, and it just seemed Cam they weren't on the same page.
Yep.
This is preseason. The offense is going to be very vanilla, and you got to take that into effect, but it was still disappointing to see him missing his main guy.
Yeah, that I'm very surprising. But first preseason game, we'll get the rust off, and hopefully everything get back to normal.
Yep. And then he turned around and was hitting. He hit Jarris Wright on that. I think it was the second drive to set up the touchdown to tie the game. He hit Jarris Wright on a beautiful back shoulder throw, and Jarris Wright was the guy brought in from Minnesota who I was talking about all offseason as the sleeper guy to watch that nobody's talking about enough at wide receiver because he moves the chains, he's fast, he can get deep, and he's good on the run as well, and he showed all of that tonight. This past week, actually, him and Cam have had really great practices from all reports we've seen, hooking up constantly. Their timing seems to be really well together, whereas Cam and Torrey Smith hasn't been so great. And all of these guys are brand new to Cam. This is something, we talked about after the week 1 wrap-up. We can't expect these guys to come in here with Cam that have never really thrown with him. Even Torrey, who's thrown with him in camps in Baltimore for a week each year. That doesn't mean a whole lot.
Game speed is totally different.
Exactly. You can't come in here and expect these guys' chemistry and timing to be completely down on every route, the way in a new offense together. It's just not going to happen. And I think he saw some of that tonight, and that's why I think Rivera played Cam for 2 series tonight. You want to get these guys in. Hell, you saw rookie DJ Moore, first-round pick, was out there pretty much the whole game.
Yeah.
And, I mean, talking about him, the kid had, what was it, 4 catches, 75 yards, led the team, and towards the end, he was showing that run-after-catch ability.
Yeah.
I mean, he went up on a deep ball, came back to it, came down with the big catch, and then caught a quick pass over the middle, made a cut back, and was dodging through guys over the center. So constantly setting things up. And I like to see that, but I think it's unfair to say we should expect this offense to do great things just because it's Cam's best arsenal, yes. But it could take half a season to get clicking, So that was interesting as well. I'm going to hit some of y'all's comments while we're waiting on that. Before I hit these, I see somebody dropping in from location-wise. We haven't done this in a while. Why don't y'all do a little roll call here? Tell us where you're from, where you're watching the show. I've seen people by the analytics up here watching in different countries, which is really cool to me. We are, obviously, this is Bank of America Stadium. Billy and I are in Greenville, North Carolina, about, if I'm driving, 3.5 hours east. If Billy's driving, it might be 4.5.
I don't know. I got a new car,
he's got
man.
a new car. It might be different now. So, but about 3.5 hours east of Charlotte. Y'all drop in there. Tell us where you're watching from. I appreciate Billy Deaton for already doing it. Maybe he's watched the show a few times before. But I'm going to hit some of y'all's comments right now before they start getting out of control. Y'all keep dropping them. We love discussions. Let's see here. Good showing. Billy Deaton, good showing from DJ. First game jitters. Yeah. I mean, I was impressed with him.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that. You see Damian Ford talking about KB. Stephon Helms. Kelvin was looking at Cam like he was guessing Cam's weight in chicken nuggets. The internet is so savage sometimes. Brandon Harris, hi from Fresno. Yeah, I think people have watched the show before, dropping into locations. Billy Deaton, hi from OBX. Walter Vanderpue, I like the studio setup. Thank you. And look, somebody recognize that. Look, we're hard on these kind of things, This is the new setup for this season. There's going to be some additions and possibly even some subtractions as we go along and kind of get a feel for everything. We just kind of like this head-to-head better. So we'll see on my upgrades, probably some mics and stuff, and I hope to get this TV working in some more fashion for y'all. I'm not going to give away all surprises just yet, but appreciate that, Walter. Corey Davis, KV hasn't matured at all, and judging by that video, if something happened to them between them personally, that's the only thing I can guess because they, like I said, they used to be really tight.
Yeah, I just don't see anything happening personally. He's in Buffalo. Cam's in Charlotte. I don't see them interacting a lot.
There might be a reason for that now, since the whole breakup last year. I don't know. These guys have a whole personal life outside, but it was on the field and even off the field while they were on the same team. Reporters talked about how close these two were, and that's why it was such a big topic when he was traded. And Cam was like, "Look, he's the guy I want in my foxhole if something goes down." When he got traded, and I'm gonna say, like Scott Fowler said, that's not the guy you want in your foxhole, apparently. Unless Cam did something to him. I don't know. Corey Davis, free agent cornerbacks that could be cheap. Ooh. The only one that comes to mind is the one I've mentioned before at this point, and that's DRC, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, the vet. I know a lot of people talk about his speed and all. I don't personally know. I haven't watched a whole lot of him lately, but he's the only guy I can really think of. I know Bashad Breeland was still out there. He actually worked out for the Patriots of all the freaking teams in NFL. But I don't see him coming back because he could still be a little bit of a contract money problem, even if he's not a higher rate. But that would be the only one I can really think of right now. Mike Stribb, he looked good in 13. You talking about Jairus Wright? Yes, he did. Much better than another 13 I used to know. Heather Pennington, Jefferson, North Carolina. Appreciate that. What's up from Southwest Virginia? Cool. Mike Stribb, as always, from Illinois. Appreciate that, but is that Schaumburg? Maybe I'm pronouncing that.
Schaumburg, Illinois.
Schaumburg, Illinois.
It's right outside of Chicago.
Okay, cool. I thought I was pronouncing that right. Albuquerque, New Mexico. There we go. Aaron Truelove Chalaki. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm terrible with pronouncing names. Kill Devil Hills, more North Carolina folks. Lumberton, currently live in Lafayette. Ooh, in Saintstown. Sorry about that. Charlotte, Jacksonville, Charlotte, Asheville, Richmond, Virginia, West Jefferson, Leesburg, Virginia. Y'all are killing it. Appreciate everything. Hi from Conway. CJ seemed to look good, strong runs, and he did. I mean, and I thought this was something telling. We actually talked about after the first two drives with the starters in on offense. Christian McCaffrey was in every snap as the starting running back. And, after we picked up C.J. Anderson, everybody was like, oh, man, this is really getting that two tandem back going again. And it's, Rivera was quoted in camp saying 20, 25 touches a game for McCaffrey. Now, that can mean catches and runs. Yep. Tonight, it kind of looked like they were favoring him in the run game, and he did well, here and there.
And it's
open
preseason,
things.
So
exactly.
we're cookie cutter football.
Yep.
So there could be some stuff up their sleeves. I mean, but he led the team, CJ, with 16 yards.
Yeah, 16 yards.
So he didn't have
carries.
A lot of rushing
right.
tonight.
Yeah. So I mean it's not a telltale sign.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's the first preseason game, but I thought it was really interesting to see them giving McCaffrey work. And during Anderson's interview, it kind of felt like I don't know personally, and this just could be me. It felt like he was, really just kind of maybe surprised, I guess is more so the word, that he wasn't in earlier in the game, because he didn't come in till I guess towards the end of the first.
Yeah, we
after
scored
2 drives.
Yeah,
and after he was getting interviewed talking about it. He said I had 4 yards to carry. He said he kind of hinted around how he wanted more carries. He said I didn't get the carries I wanted tonight, but we're here to win as a team, and that's always good to hear. Yeah. But it kind of felt like I'm here for another reason. I'm here to ground the ball out, and this is Panther football, and that's why I know I was brought in this. So it's going to be interesting to watch that kind of carry over moving forward.
I had that same feeling. He talked about it wasn't what I would like.
Right.
So, yeah, he wants the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been a star.
And he's on a 1-year prove-it deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, he wants that money. He wants to get paid. That's kind of one of the reasons he came to Carolina. He mentioned it in the training camp interview saying, I played against them in the Super Bowl. I know what they do. I know they have the talent to get back. So I came here to show my worth and hopefully make it to another Super Bowl and try to win it with this team. So that's going to be something to look forward and watch. Jerry Lee Ashby, studio's awesome. Appreciate it, man. Aaron Hooper, more look great. Yeah, and guys, I normally during the regular season I have highlights pulled up. Yeah, if you watched the show at all last year, we always have highlights pulled up. I don't have any tonight, and I probably won't throughout the preseason. Got to save all our great stuff for the real football, because right now it's fun to watch these guys. But I want to hit on wide receiver a little bit. Curtis Samuel coming in the game kind of late. But when he came in, he made a quick impact.
Yep.
You saw it firsthand, bringing it up. Hey, 2 catches in a row. Look good, jumping, catching the ball at the point. Excuse me. One of the things he talked about all offseason was improving his hands catching the ball. And I think you've seen a lot of that.
Yeah. He caught that one. It was between 4 defenders, and he was able to turn his head and get down the field. Yep. Another one that I was surprised, Arma.
Yeah.
That caught out. He had a reception tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And it was nice to see a fullback get involved.
Yeah, and that's, there's something else that's been hit on. North Turner is famous for tight ends and fullback formations, making those guys work. Obviously, Mike Tolbert is a former Panther, but he also played under Norv in San Diego and made Mike Tolbert the guy he was and the name he was. And now a lot of fans are hoping to see that with Arma. Arma has been a fan favorite the last couple of years. So that's going to be something interesting to see. Another thing that I saw was Ian Thomas and Greg Olson at the start of the game in 2 tight end sets. Mm-hmm. So that was really, I thought that was pretty interesting seeing Ian Thomas, the rookie, being thrusted out there early on. And I really like that. That is actually a formation in Madden, by the way, this year. That's a new formation.
2 tight ends?
2 tight ends, single back set, Cam Newton under center, and guys, I really, really like it. I think it's really awesome. I'm a Madden buff, though. Not that I'm great. I'm not a Madden great or anything, but I thoroughly enjoy playing the game. That and a big nickel package on defense. Whew, really enjoy that. Back to some of y'all's comments here. Guys, I really feel like CJ takes many carries away from C-Mac as the year goes on. Thoughts? Look, and I've said this in the past, and the coaches have hit on it this offseason. It's all about if you're doing it right anyway, it's all about matchups. And if you're going against a defense that you can ground the ball and pound it away in, they're probably going to give CJ more carries. If you're going against a team that you need to, take advantage of a scat back and quickness of a C-Mac, that's what you're going to get. And I think Norv Turner gets that. He's talked about in-game adjustments. Still, it's just weird to me, in-game adjustments. I didn't know that was legal in the NFL. In-game adjustments, and he's hit on matchups. And I think that's the big key, and I think that's what you're going to see. Just because somebody starts one game means absolutely not shit on the, depth chart doesn't mean anything necessarily. if a guy starts the first game.
Yeah.
It's all about the play call they call the first play of the game, because that guy could come right out and not play the rest of the damn game if something doesn't go right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And McCaffrey, he had a fumble tonight.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
he did have a fumble. Jumping off the ground. Luckily got it back.
Yep. And I felt like McCaffrey last year, his rookie year, I felt like he was trying to do a lot with his feet. That was his big hype coming out of the combine, getting drafted. Was his feet are lightning fast, and they are. Tonight, he has looked much more decisive to me. Yep. Hitting holes, going where he wants to go. And you kind of saw that towards the end of last year. He wasn't doing a lot of dancing like he was at the beginning of the year. So that's good to see. It shows improvement there. And then, see, that was Dean Simmons, Stephen McCrory. That secondary is going to be poop emoji. Let's hope that's wrong. I'll be interested to see more when Bradbury's back playing, and I'd like to see Dante Jackson even get some starts over there. And I'm hoping that front line is going to help get some pressure, because you're talking about Mario Addison. We didn't have Julius Peppers in the game tonight, obviously. You got Dontari Poe, Quan Short. That's a fierce front four. Yeah. I'm hoping that'll be able to turn it around. C-Mac will be a beast this year, Jerry Lee Ashby. I agree. If you're a fantasy guy, I've just got this, I know a lot of guys like CBS Sports Fantasy have been downplaying McCaffrey and not really downplaying him, but just his ADP right now. I personally just have a good feeling, regardless of what Carolina does as a team, fantasy-wise, I feel like McCaffrey's just going to be a beast.
That's what I told you before the game. I said, man, I got to keep AB. I hope I get drawn number one so I can pick, McCaffrey right back up.
Yeah. Good old CMC. Stephen McCrory, CJ surely needs to get the ball more. He is faster than I thought in power. Yeah, and you saw some of the catching out of the backfield tonight from him. That's what something else that was brought up a lot for a guy like him playing his position. And I think he proved that. And I think CJ will get more of an opportunity moving forward. Obviously, as going into the third preseason game, we're going to see more and more of what we may see in the regular season. So it's all going to unfold. Heather Pennington, this is another player I wanted to hit on. Hoping Bird comes back as strong as last year before his injury. More record-breaking punt returns. It's going to be hard to break a 103-yard kickoff return.
It is. I think
105 is like...
There's a lot of luck involved, and if you do bring it out that deep and you don't take it to the house, you're probably getting in trouble.
Yeah, and he would have been had he not scored on that one, but that was a beautiful one last year. But he is a guy who, again, came in a little late today and didn't start off the preseason as he has in years past, where he's getting past a lot of people. I know he had one catch. Let's see here. He's way down on here. Actually, I don't even see him I don't see where he recorded one. I'm pretty sure he had one, though. They might just be missing it. But either way, you see more of him. I still feel like this is going to be a team that holds 6 wide receivers. I know Bird's got injury issues. Yep. Hell, Curtis Samuel has injury issues. But these are both guys who are talented and can get behind a defense. And I feel like for one spot, it's not the first time Marty Hurney team would hold 6 wide receivers. I feel like you're talking about Devin Funchess, Torrey Smith, DJ Moore, Jarius Wright, Curtis Samuel, and Damiere Byrd. I feel like you have to keep those 6. This is a great versatile offensive weapons for Cam, along with CMC and CJ Anderson. So I feel like you're going to keep those. One thing we haven't really hit on tonight, and I'm sure somebody is probably thinking about it, did we have any injuries? I saw Vernon Butler went down momentarily on it looked like a bad ankle twist, rolled his ankle. He came back and actually got a sack like 2 plays later. Yeah. Other than that, Ladarius Gunner is in concussion protocol. That was he kind of took a shot to the head. I think it was going down to the ground.
Yeah, he kind of led with his head a little bit and got hit, shoulder to neck, and he was down on the ground.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything other than those 2 though. And like I said, Vernon Butler came back apparently okay and got a sack about 2 plays later. But something else we wanted to hit about is the offensive line early on, rushing wise. Obviously, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot going on, and this is hard pressed to say. Khalil struggled against people tonight, some a little bit, but it's hard pressed to say when this is such a vanilla offense. I mean, the first drive, the runs were just basic dives straight up the middle. I mean, I don't know what to make of it right now. I know Norv has got a lot more up his sleeve. This is never a time to freak out about play calling, but there wasn't a whole lot of push there. C.J. Anderson came in, and on that touchdown run, there was some good holes, and then CMC had a hole or two that he was able to hit through. Then obviously he had to jump over the line at one time when he fumbled the ball. You mentioned earlier.
Yep.
So that's going to be something. Van Rotten actually got the start at left guard tonight, not Brendan Mann, the rookie undrafted free agent out of Penn State we've been talking about. He's been getting a lot of reps there. He did play, but he was not there tonight. So, I mean, he was not the starter tonight. So that'll be something else to watch moving forward. Stephen McCrory, can we talk about the secondary? Last year, our secondary was bottom of the barrel. Seems like it will remain that way. Last year, our secondary was putting a very bad spot. No, it was not good at all. I'm not going to sit here and say that. But it was putting in a very bad spot as far as being the third highest blitz percentage team defense in the NFL last year. You just can't, if you're blitzing a lot and you're not hitting home, you can't expect your secondary to hold receivers for 3, 4, and even 5 seconds.
And that was happening tonight still. I mean, Josh Allen was able to have so much time in the backfield because, I mean, we were blitzing and not getting back there, and, he was making those passes. Yeah, 3 to 5 seconds, that's a long time to guard somebody.
Yeah, and the rule in the NFL really is for a rush is 2 seconds or less. Yeah. Anything other than that it's all fair game for the quarterback. Ken Duncombe Jr., Moore, Curtis Wright showed up. Yes, they did. And I saw a lot of people. I asked a question saying, who did y'all think your top players would be tonight to show out? And a lot of y'all commented in. And I'll tell you why I didn't put some of them up there tonight. A lot of y'all put like 3, 4, and even 5 players down. The object is to have one player and even drop a stat. Somebody actually did put a Demir Bird stat up, I believe it was, but obviously that didn't come true, so I didn't worry about putting that one up either. But I was a fan of that one. But when we do this now, I'll try to put just one guy down and drop a stat mark, and I'll be sure to correct that in the post. But Ken Duncombe, Moore, Curtis Wright showed up. Yeah, obviously Moore had a great game, and towards the end he was going against guys who wouldn't normally play in the NFL, but it was still good to see that run after catch ability. Billy Deaton, Ian Thomas has great upside. Indeed he does. And I think it shows a lot of confidence in putting him in there, those 2 tight end sets right off the get-go. I saw him in there, and they use him a lot for blocking. I saw that a lot when he was starting for Cam as well, something they tried to use Ed Dixon for a lot last year. Jerry Lee Ashby, get some better cornerbacks who will be unstoppable. Bring back Josh. If we had $1 for every time we heard that on this show, man, I would have all kinds of equipment.
We wouldn't have a studio in your house. We'd have a studio
at a studio.
At a studio.
Yeah, multiple cameras. I can't wait to get all those set up. But anyway, Damian Ford, did the Rook from Penn State play at left guard? He did, and honestly, I didn't really see a whole lot from him. They will be showing a replay tomorrow. I'm going to try to record and watch and get back with you more on that. Mindy Baker, that's my wife. Mindy, looking good. Jesse Baker language, okay. Marcus Castro, secondary, regardless of who's in there, need to get better preseason or not. Oh no, I agree. This is not an excuse.
Yeah. I'm
just saying, and we weren't talking about the secondary as far as preseason making excuses for them. That wasn't the case. The only thing we really talked about is play calling for preseason.
Yeah.
There's no excuse for what Kevon Seymour got beat by with Kelvin Benjamin tonight. It was absolutely awful.
It's preseason. It's run and catch. That's all it is.
Yeah.
There's nothing set up that's, a lot of technique. It's just snap the ball and play football. And Seymour just got outplayed. Yeah, and right now I agree. Secondary is the biggest cause for concern on this defense. There's no question about it. Injury to Ross Cockrell didn't help. I really feel like though Dante Jackson's going to start getting a look at that second spot, and when James Bradbury's in there, it's going to make a difference. Y'all have to remember Bradbury didn't play tonight. I mean, he's our number one corner, and now he's not an elite cornerback, but he's pretty damn good. So that makes a difference. And I really, like I said, I feel like Dante Jackson's going to start getting more looks. Johans West, Cam looked like he was giving Benjamin the business right before the game. Yeah, it looked like he was. I mean, he was trying to talk to him about something, but Benjamin won't having it either. I say that's one odd falling out. Maybe we'll find out more about that as the season goes on.
Percy Edie Sr., Carolina football is back. Cam looked more than serviceable. Need to study Norv's offense a little more. Secondary needs some serious attention. Yeah, I'm not going to keep hitting on the secondary thing.
Yeah.
Cam missed Olsen twice. I think he missed the first play of the game.
Yep.
But outside of that, on the second drive, he put it together.
Yeah. But then after we missed that, I think it was the next play, we ran a great screenplay.
Mm-hmm.
Like finally a screenplay,
Oh my God,
developed
McCaffrey.
and we got positive yards of the screenplay.
Yeah. That was pretty crazy to see because every screenplay we've ran the last few years just seemed like the team knows it's coming. I don't know what it is because a screenplay is just supposed to be one of those easy things when you have a wall of blockers. And I think that was one of the things we were talking about earlier. You seeing CMC more decisive and just hitting and going.
Yep.
One-stop cuts. Jonathan Fry, Seymour to SeeLess. So Billy was saying earlier. Johans West, Lovemore, and Funchess potential along with Bird, Samuel Wright, and Smith. Yeah, I can't stress it enough. We said it to open the show. It's exciting. This is the best weapons we've had on this offense for Cam Newton, and I'm excited to see it come to fruition, hopefully. But we have to give this offense time to click. You have to give this offense time to click. I can't stress it enough, and I look forward to it. But, I mean, this could take a couple weeks in the preseason. This gets 2 games in, and they're not dropping 35 points a game. I don't want to see people up here saying, what the hell's wrong with Cam in this offense? Norv Turner's garbage. Torrey Smith, DJ Moore is a wasted pick, yada, yada. It doesn't happen overnight, guys. Now, they could come out and score 52 again, and then this would all look like bullshit.
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
No kidding. Johans, again, saying we got weapons for days. And we're not even factoring Olsen into that whole clause either, so that's something else. Ken Duncombe, the O-line did decent tonight. Yeah, I was overall satisfied with the O-line. I thought they did fine. Phil Kalk, in my opinion, it takes 3 years to develop quality NFL corners. It's not a plug-and-play position. We saw that ourselves after 2015 going into 2016 when we drafted Darryl Worley, who is no longer on this team, and James Bradbury. And, I mean, we saw it firsthand. Yeah. They went in and they struggled. Bradbury did fine for a rookie, was, hyped up going into a sophomore year and struggled in a man defense. He's a better zone corner. It's fine. Josh Norman is a better zone corner.
Yeah,
he's a great zone corner. And that's fine. I'll take whatever it is. I don't care if a guy is, if he's great man-on-man, like a Darrelle Revis in his prime, that's fantastic. I'd love to have him. But if a guy works in a system that the team puts together on defense, I'm just as happy as long as it's helping win games and make turnovers. So that's my thoughts on that. Continuing on, thoughts on Dave Mayo tonight. He struggled a little bit on some areas. I saw him make a couple of early tackles and run plays early on. I said
I didn't see a lot of negative. I did see him in on some tackles.
Yeah, I was going to say I saw him make a couple of good line of scrimmage tackles on running backs. But other than that, I don't. But you have to elaborate on what you saw him struggle with, Corey. I mean, he is still a growing, learning to get some experience in
that whole defensive package struggled towards
the
end.
Yeah, that.
Like with wrapping up and
letting
the quarterback just run all over him.
Yeah, that first team struggled the first 2 drives. Yeah. I mean, and then towards the end they finally got a stop on the 4th and 3, which really helped turn the tide of the game. I felt like. John Calishaw, how did the new penalty rules affect us?
I think we had one.
Did we?
Yeah, we had one.
Oh yeah, and it was on the Bills, I think.
No, the Bills had one. We had one also.
Okay.
It was the second guy coming in for the tackle, led with his helmet. I don't remember who it was, but yeah, I think we both had one.
Yeah, and I mean, I know that's been stressed a lot. I didn't necessarily see. I know I saw one. Billy was talking about another one, but I do think I remember that now. But I don't think it didn't play a whole lot of effect. The only dumb penalties to me right now are the kickoff penalties. I mean, those are just. This is football. I mean, you're not telling guys to wait till the ball is kicked is not going to stop a 40-yard sprint and knocking somebody's block off.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand that. That's just kind of me. I think it's a bunch of BS. I'm thinking in drop coverage a little bit in the middle. Corey talking about David Mayo some more. I'm thinking there. And, yes, Mayo is not fast. Mayo kind of reminds me of A.J. Klein, whereas – he's really good in the box stopping the run, but he struggles dropping in coverage like Luke Kuechly because they both seem a bit slower. And it makes all the difference when you're trying to cover quicker tight ends in this NFL, and even running backs who now in the NFL are coming out of the backfield running all kinds of routes. So I agree with you there. I've noticed that in the past, Corey. Like I said, I felt like he was a perfect complement coming in following an A.J. Klein, and I still think he can do a lot of good, but definitely coverage is not his best ability in my opinion. Johans West, I know we stress secondary, but if we can figure it out, we should be good. I think Jackson and Munderland need more burn, a.k.a. time. I also think Colin Jones may need to play in that nickel linebacker safety role. I don't know how I feel about the Colin Jones statement. He kind of struggled a little bit tonight too, and that was kind of really the biggest thing. And Corey Davis talking about it a little bit brings it up more. That second string and third string defense gave up a lot over the middle tonight.
Yes,
I mean it was like it was just between the hashes. It was wide open. It seemed like. So that is something to watch. Like I said before, Dante Jackson has reportedly had a really good camp. I'd really like to see him get more looks at the second cornerback spot. We'll have to see how that goes. Munderland, I still feel like is going to be part of that slot nickel. Cornelder, haven't heard a whole lot of great things. I saw him make a couple tackles tonight, but not enough to go off of him right now.
I think
coming off
he was
injury year.
He was actually the one that got called for the lead with the helmet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There's that other rule. So, but other than that, I mean, let me check these
For
stats.
Another line, Shaq Thompson had an interception tonight.
Yes,
the one
yes.
that didn't happen on TV live.
Yeah, right. It came back and it was in the middle of a replay.
Yeah,
it was like, Tripp, you missed the interception. I was like, I'm literally 10 feet away from the TV, and I just heard the game come back on. No, I didn't miss anything. But yes, he did, and it was it went through the other receiver's hands. It was a great catch. Actually, it was like 6 inches from the ground when he pulled it in, so it was pretty damn good. I'm just running through these things one last time. Graham Gano, let's see, kicking. I don't want to get up there. Taylor Henneke, backup QBs. This is something a lot of people have been worried about, and it's something we talked about on the show with Eric Summers from SB Nation Cat Scratch Reader, covering the Panthers. Garrett Gilbert is the backup right now. 7 of 12, 93 yards, 1 touchdown. He missed pretty bad coming in on some plays. Heineke, 7 of 9, 121 yards. Looked a lot better than talks were for him in training camp. But Mose Frazier had a great touchdown catch towards the end. Elijah Hood beat a guy on blown coverage, and they hit them both pretty well in stride. That Heineke throw was that was Garrett Gilbert. I'm pretty sure. That was it definitely was. They each have 1 touchdown. Garrett Gilbert really threaded the needle on Mose Frazier there. That was good to see. Gilbert had a great preseason last year. Really partially the reason why he's backing up Cam now as number 2 QB. And that's going to be something it's important to watch moving forward. But it's like I told Eric, man, on the show, I hate being a pessimist, but if you lose Cam Newton, knock on wood, somewhere for the season, this offense isn't built to last without him.
Oh, yeah.
Cam Newton is this offense. I mean, you say that about every QB, but Cam really is. I mean, you're talking this is built off some read option plays, him running, keeping defenses off balance. I mean, that's just me.
Yeah. You lose Cam, and we'll knock again. The offense is done. It's it'd be very hard to build an offense around the backups.
Yep.
And hopefully we've lost him a couple times over the past couple years, but hopefully we can keep him the whole year and he can stay healthy and we don't have to worry about those backups.
Yeah. I don't want to have to get in that situation. We were in this situation last year with receivers. We got that fixed. Let's hope this is only the second time Cam's coming in with a full off season of camps, healthy. That other time was 2015. Oh, another fun stat. The last time Carolina won a preseason opener against Buffalo was also 2015. So for you guys who believe in superstitions and all that jazz, there you go. We're off to another Super Bowl year, maybe?
Hopefully.
Hey, hopefully. No, I'm not going to jump all on that train just yet, but I'm looking forward to a great season. Guys, thank you for tuning in. If you would, like I said, if you haven't already, like and follow us right here on Facebook. This is where we do that. We drop that live. We will be doing some YouTube and stuff in the near future. I've got an idea possibly on how we can all give back to Panthers players, charities this season during the regular season on the postgame show. But y'all follow us, subscribe to us on YouTube for all that. Also, like I said, if you're more of the podcast type person, we're on iTunes, we are on Google Podcasts, we are on Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Spotify. You can find us on all of that. It's all at Panthersaurus. You should be able to find it rather easily. And for Panthersaurus, after a great opening win, Panthers football is back. I'm Trip Morgan.
Billy Harless.
Y'all keep pounding, and we will see you next week.
See ya.